Hello, welcome back to another video. In today's video, I'm going to be going over gesture drawing. I'm going to be doing it as a challenge though. So we're going to be doing the same reference photo in 1 minute, 10 minutes, and 1 hour. And throughout this video, I'm going to give just a few pointers on how I start and why that helps me. But this is by far not a tutorial of this is exactly how you have to draw it or the only right way to do so. It's just what I found works best for me with where I'm at in my drawing journey. This is just a reference photo that I found on Pinterest. I don't own rights to it or anything. It's just a reference photo for me to practice drawing with. So without further ado, let's get into it. So we're going to go ahead and start with the 1 minute challenge. So the reference photo is going to stay up there on the left hand side. I like to start with the head because every person is generally about 7 to 7.5 heads tall, and so this helps to get me some proportions quickly. Then with the head down, I'm going to start working on the spine and that right leg because that's going to be our action line, which is just helpful to show the movement of the character you're drawing. And you're going to notice that I start off with just stick legs and stick arms, and that's because it makes it easy just to get the shape and direction down. The hands are just little blobs. I added some mass to that chest, and now I'm adding some more to the lower torso just to help build it up. Then go in, fill in that other pants leg, starting to come together. And then I'm going to add in some really quick little feet down there at the bottom, just little triangles, just to kind of get the way that the feet are positioned. And that's going to be pretty much all that we have time for. So as you can see, this is just a very quick sketch, roughly blocking in shapes and mass. Definitely far from a finished piece, but it is a great space to start. Now let's move on to the next one. Moving on to the 10-minute version of this challenge, I'm going to be starting out in pencil rather than pen because I want to be able to start light and really build up into that darkness. I'm going to start with that spine again, moving on to some hips before adding in those legs. Get those arms, and it's all very skeletal. It's going to mirror what I did with my pen. I'm going to add some mass to these legs and chest just to start to really build it out before adding in that clothing. Darkening those lines to really show my finished form. And that's going to be how it goes for the majority of this piece. Building up those portions of the skeleton that we have and just adding a little bit more detail than we had before. Because of the longer time limit, I can also start to add in some of this shading. So I went in with a really light pencil, just put a base kind of medium down there, and now I'm going in and darkening sections to help really show those shadows. Now these shadows are very rough, very kind of streaky, but they're in there just to help start to show that dimension and 3D of our character. I'm going to add some more shading, and now I get to do a little bit more detail on the face and hair, again with this extra time that I have. I'm not going to be doing a lot of detail, so I'm not drawing individual fingers or little toes. I'm still just using rough shapes. But I am able to add in some more shade and dimension to this piece, which helps us to imagine it as a 3D form. Then I'm going to go back in one more time and really darken those deep shadows, because we want to have really dark darks and really light lights to really show that dimension. And that's going to be the time for that one. Now we were definitely able to get a lot more detail on this. You can see the difference between the 1 minute and the 10 minute, but still not quite a finished piece. So we're going to go ahead and move on to the 1 hour. So obviously with an hour, we have a lot more time to slow down and really focus on proportions. But we're going to still start with that head, spine, and leg for our action line. And you're going to notice here that I'm going to start measuring the body with the end of my pencil. And what I'm doing is seeing in proportion to the other body parts how long things should be. So I'm going to be taking that same pencil and marking it up against my reference photo and noticing that that right leg is about 1.5, 1.25 times as long as that torso, and so that's helping me make sure my proportions are just right. You're going to notice I'm going to start building this up, and I use the same techniques as I did in the last one, adding in little bit by little bit, adjusting as needed, just as I find these differences in proportions between my reference photo and my drawing. Then I did a quick erasure just to help lighten my lines, and I'm going in with a darker pencil to help define those lines a bit sharper. Now as I prepare to start doing some shading, I'm going to start lining out these creases in the pants and in the arms just to help me imagine this as a 3D object. And you're going to notice that I started a lot lighter on my shading than I did in the last one. And that's because I really want the ability to build up because I have time to do so. As I draw, you're going to notice several times that I erase and redraw a portion, even if I've already started to shade it. And that's perfectly fine and perfectly normal. You're going to be learning as you draw, and if I were to redraw this again, it would be better than this one, because that's how you learn as an artist. Now throughout this piece, you're seeing that I swap pencils not infrequently, and that's because I'm using drawing pencils, and my set ranges from 5H to 12B. And that letter and number indicate how hard or soft your pencil is, and therefore how light or dark it's going to want to draw for you. The H's are going to indicate a light pencil, so the higher the number, the lighter that pencil lead is going to be, meaning that the B's are going to be your darker. So the 12B is a very dark pencil. And being able to swap between them really helps to achieve that contrast and to just darken a piece and make it pop more. Now, as you're starting to see here, I'm really struggling with getting this face to a place that I'm happy with. I erase and redraw the whole head, just getting the angle that she's looking and the facial features to look the way I want to was taking a long time for me. And I really didn't get to a point where I was absolutely in love with it, but that's going to happen when you draw. You're not going to be perfectly happy with it because you're going to see the issues. But getting to a point where you're okay with not having a perfect drawing is so important, because it's better to draw a lot of not perfect drawings than sit and take 3 years to try and perfect a drawing. because I have time, I'm going to take a moment and just darken this floor real quick. Again, just to help us be able to imagine her in a 3D space. Now, for the final touches before we run out of time, I'm going in with a white colored pencil just to hit on those very lightest of lights. And this is really just to help that contrast some more and make it really pop. Because the paper I'm using is already toned, I have to bring back in those whites because they weren't there to begin with. Then with just a few more finishing touches, we are going to reach the end of our final drawing. It is such a huge improvement from our 1 minute drawing, but as you saw, we were building upon that initial sketch, that action line, that head, those same stick figure shapes the whole time. We just had the ability to really take our time on that initial sketch and get those proportions done well. All in all, this was a really fun challenge to do, and I really enjoyed getting to retest my gesture drawing skills. I hope it was informative for you and helped you understand my process on drawing people. Let me know in the comments what your biggest takeaway was and what you'd like to see me do in the future. Have a great, blessed day.